Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Age of Wonders 4, Thrones of Blood. In the last episode, we made some progress with regards to leveling up our hero and taking out some of the local threats. I think our major long-term threat is going to be Ursel Blackrose here, and the short-term threats that we're going to be coming up against are places like Ankaraz and Megaira the Scolded. Now, Megaira the Scolded is currently the third-ranked player in the game, but we do have the advantage is that there is another player, Erilazilier the Vainglorious, is also at war with them. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage in that war. I think what I'm going to start doing is start pillaging Ankaraz's territory for gold to fuel my military. And I'll try to get 3 big stacks of units to take them on. In terms of spell casting, we just finished casting Flesh Carved Runes, which is going to give our race plus 5 hit points regeneration on the world map and the ability to ignore a status resistance per stack of bleeding on the enemy. So I'm going to cast that transformation. It's not the most powerful transformation in the game, but it will increase the power level of our armies by meaning that our units are at a higher health level. Pillaging. Yeah, we definitely want to get skilled raiders. We are 15 turns away from getting it, but that would give us more yields from pillaging and healing. Now, one thing that we could do is to pull our troops back once we clear this pasture. Pull back down here because there are a few places like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 fights down here that we could make use of to level up before we attack Ankaraz, which I think isn't necessarily a terrible idea. So I'm going to go ahead and initiate this attack. It's going to be a pretty rough one. We'll see what the auto combat gives us. It looks like one of my immortals died, which is fine. This honestly seems like a perfectly reasonable battle, so I'm going to go ahead and take that result. Grimrise can annex another province. We could significantly increase the growth rate of this city if we were to get ourselves another forester. There is a pasture forester out here in the northwest, which would also give us a reinforcement road back to these guys later, which could be really useful. And picking up that forester would allow us to continue to grow our city. So I am tempted to grab that one so that we can keep pumping the population of this city up. I think is a pretty reasonable thing to do. Ursel Blackrose actually wants a wizard's bond. I'm going to grab that and then I'll see if he's willing to negotiate. Do we have anything that he's interested in? Not really, but it is nice to have wizard's bonds relationships with 2 of the NPCs so that we only have to fight 1. Now there is another NPC army of Ankaraz over here, and we do like fighting Ankaraz because my hero is an imperialist, so he likes fighting free cities. Okay, so the Sign of the Vanguard, the Aftermath, is over. We could learn the Sign of the Vanguard enchantment, which would give our shock units some nice buffs. They would have very fast movement, which is 6 hexes, plus be harder to hit by ranged attacks, but their melee attacks would do less damage. I prefer my warriors to be strong, not swift. I think I need them to dish out a little bit more damage than that. There is a hero in this stack. It is a pretty buff stack. And the good thing is, if we killed another hero of Ankaraz, that would start getting us better allegiance because we would have another hostage. So I am tempted to go fight that. What I might do is see if I can bait them into pillaging our territory. I'll pull my hero back really far in case that this is a defensive stack that isn't coming to fight me, so that we're a little bit closer to coming down here. I do have a scout down here in this like really awesome territory. There's Gemkeep. Very cool. Lots of territory down here. We do get a new hero. I definitely don't want a nautical governor. Elitist isn't bad. Now the Elven Entrepreneurs, that's Gemkeep here. They are pretty chill with me. I don't know if that's the kind of hero that I want. I could recruit from Pantheon, but I don't really want to. I think I might be more interested in just recruiting normally. So we've got a ranger, a ritualist, and a spellblade. I think my personal preference would be Vlad the Wolf here as the spellblade. But of the governor types, we could either go for arcane, agricultural, or scholarly. I think my preference would be for the arcane governor, and then for the different ambitions that they have, I don't think I want a defender. Duelist is fine, but not good for a ritualist. A lawbringer is all about clearing infestations, which is not terribly amazing. But I think Vlad the Wolf here just barely wins out. So I'm gonna go ahead and embrace him, which will bring him into my vampire court. Now he has some levels that we need to kind of look into here. So let me see. I'm going to reset his skills and we kind of think about him differently. I do like the idea of taking Initiative Shadow here because of the ability to create decaying zombies with Soulbound. So I'm going to pick that up. I have 3 skill points remaining. He is a Spellblade. Let's see here. Melee attacks grant prepared spell. He's not a melee mage, but he could become a melee mage. Now only his base attacks will inflict soul soulbound. So what kind of position on the battlefield do we want him to take? We could go with a lightning evoker or a fire evoker. Well, if I made him a fire evoker, it might make more sense to make him an initiate of chaos, because then he could use searing strike so he does more damage against burning enemies. So I'm going to make him an initiate of chaos. I've kind of changed my mind here. And then if I go for fire evoker plus cascading evoker, although I could go with devastating evocation, it would double the damage. Yeah, wildfire strikes could be really good, and if we make him a melee mage, I think inflicting burning damage is really good. This inflicts the cascading evocation guarantees burning stacks. And then we can go for pyromancy, so all attacks inflict burning. And then if we combine that with searing strikes, they'll do a lot more damage against enemies who are burning. So I think that's a pretty good opener for this guy. Not a lot of equipment to give him, but that's fine. Okay, this guy is looking to pillage us, but he's pillaging us inside our territory, so we have a little bit of a defensive advantage. Let's scoot this army over with this hero in it. And then we just want to make sure that this hero stack is in range. Take this guy on. I'm pretty sure this should be an easy auto combat for us. I wouldn't expect us to take any losses. I don't want to lose a blood cultist, so I'm going to fight this manually to avoid any losses. So we're fighting inside a town, which basically is a lot of blood going on here. The Dragoon is definitely something to be scared of. Plus, remember, they have all these gifts of the old blood, and because they're playing on Brutal Plus, they take 20% less damage and do 20% more. The Mage Lock Cannon is a major threat. The Hero is a major threat, and the Dragoon is a major threat. Pretty much all of their units are major threats, but the big ones are going to be the Hero, the Skirmisher, and the Cannon. And we really don't want to be in range of the Cannon. I'm trying to figure out what its max range is. I'm wondering if I can bait the enemy into hitting my dragon, who will be in defense mode. I'll zip you over here. I'll provide the shield wall. I'll do 19 damage to him, but that's okay. It's meant to be a bait. This is my fire evoker. He needs to be a little bit closer to use this. That's fine. I'm going to strengthen my bone dragon. I should have moved my necromancer first, but it's fine. I just want to make sure that none of my other units are in range of this cannon. Yeah, okay, perfect. The goal is to make use of the dragon as bait. The nice thing is we do start off with a couple of expendable zombies. It's really nice to have extra summons to soak up hits for us. So let's see what they do. Okay, they buffed each other and they're moving up. Okay, thankfully the Mage Lock Cannon is isolated. We'll be able to get a melee unit on top of him, which means he won't be able to move an attack unless he somehow disables this guy. I'm going to get my decaying zombies up onto this guy, or well, they're regular zombies, but basically my goal is to pin him down. They're expendable, so I don't care about them. They're combat summons, so it doesn't matter if they die. Jesus, they're horrifying to look at. I would like to get my dragon up here. I think there's a good tail swipe or a breath. That's a really good breath attack. So they're decaying. They won't be able to regenerate. We could hit these guys with blood plagues. If I were to sprint on my leader, I could make it up to melee. So let me do a blood empowerment to take damage, then sprint to heal, and then I can rush forward to this guy. And if I do a draining bite, we'll heal back up to full and gain strength and stuff. Let's get another charge strike on him as well. I'll bring up my shield hero to here. I would like to get into melee, but I also want to do a fire evocation because the guaranteed burning is incredible. Let's get up here as well. We want to zap this guy in the booty. Perfect. Teleport my archer forward to hopefully get this kill. Perfect. Someone I want to necrotize? No, I should have already necrotized if I was going to do that. Instead, I'll do a baleful curse to make it difficult for them to counterattack. I'm going to move my blood cultist forward to be in position to do a lot of damage next turn. Start hemorrhaging our enemies. And now let's see what they do. We are going to take a bit of damage here from their counterattacks and stuff. I think they're looking for a kill with this guy. Okay, perfect. So I need to kill all enemy units this turn to avoid this guy dying. We'll do a charge attack on the Mage Lock, locking him down. One zombie can get here, and now the Mage Lock is trapped. Let's do a big hemorrhage spike. Come on, give me the kill. There we go. There we go. Now you'll die this round if we don't kill this guy. Dragon up. Yes, almost. Here we go. The Immortal Strike. Boom. So that gets you health. You're taking 4 physical damage per round. Now what I could do is provide you with shield and then use this hero to give you a health link. Okay, now we've kept him alive. Let me charge the Mage Lock. Perfect. We've more or less got this on lockdown. We just need to kill the Mage Lock before the bleed triggers on this guy again. So he should live despite taking big damage. All right, charge strike, zombie strike, charge strike. God, this thing has so much armor. Come on, give me that shot. Oh, the miss. That's painful. Fire evocation. Get me the kill, maybe. Perfect. Okay, we nailed it. This time we beat them without taking a single loss, which means all my units got experience, which is ideal. We scavenged some equipment from the defeated heroes. Oh, lovely. That's actually really, really good. Much harder to hit with ranged attacks. Okay, so we cleared out another... Did you actually get renowned for that? You did. Okay, perfect. We cleared out another one of Ankaraz's stacks. So I want to come down here and see if I can get hold of this blood glass because of the extra healing and the draft. It's all beautiful. Still exploring this icy underground. There's Necrotize. We were able to use that. We can pick our next tome. Now, the Tome of Souls might not necessarily be too bad here. Being able to soulbound enemies to get decaying zombies is cool, but it's not necessarily what we need. It is just useful. The Tome of Revelry could be good, which causes us to propagate bleeding using Blood Fury weapons, primarily on our melee units though. Units in the army gain 30% more experience, we get more morale, Revels of Blood, Scald, which gives Song of Carnage and the Song of Revelry. Heart of the Revel inflicts insanity. I do think that there is a place potentially for Blood Fury weapons because of the bleed propagation. The Tome of Mayhem also has a lot of ability here because of its ability to inflict misfortune. This is basically like a defensive ability because it gets rid of fortune, which lowers the amount of DPS that your enemies do. Tome of the Doom Herald could be good as well, being able to do extra damage against enemies with low morale, and also having the Joy Siphoners hit to actually suck morale out of enemy units. Let me have a look. I want to have a look at what units we have available as the Dark Culture, because that might dictate how we make use of stuff. Like we have a Tyrant Guard, which is a polearm unit. I don't remember what our tier 3 unit is. I think it's a cavalry. Yeah, it's the Tyrant Knight. It's tier 3. It's a tier 3 shock unit with a good charge strike. Deals extra damage based on mobility. Cancels defense, removes retaliation, inflicts weakening. Displaces the attack target and move onto its hex. Adjacent enemies have a chance to be weakened. I mean, the Tyrant Knight is really good at weakening enemies, and I think that's going to be a significant part of our abilities. The Tome of Shades could be, we do really want to focus on things that enhance our battle mages and our shock units, because the shock unit's going to be the big sort of carry in our army. So like Shadow Blades would allow our shock units to ignore a significant amount of the enemy defenses if they're blind, which would be really strong if we take Living Shadows. That would be pretty good. I'm trying to think about what synergies we have. Most of our units, most of the military that we plan on developing is going to be heavily based around blood cultists, which are battle mage units. We could gain the Crypt Blade, which would allow us to create decaying zombies. It's not what I want to do though. Battlefield looting would be great for pumping up our gold from fighting. I don't know if we necessarily need to take that. I think in terms of giving us both a combination of defense and offense, I do think that the Tome of Mayhem here does a lot for our build, because the ability for our ranged units to inflict misfortune is very powerful, both in terms of doing damage to enemies and also getting rid of enemy fortune and massively reducing the damage output that they're able to do. The problem is we would be picking this tome for basically this only this ability. There are some good, like the Siege Project isn't bad, but I'm just not really seeing anything that goes too crazy. Oh, I do like the Tome of Revelry. So what I like about the Tome of Revelry is the Blood Fury weapons will give us extra physical damage on our shock units, which we're going to be making a lot of later, and we can make a decent use of Immortals early into the game as well. We can continue. This would actually make Immortals really useful, further useful, because they would do more damage. They would give bleeding stacks when they kill things. We've got Revels of Blood, which is a siege project that gives us morale and inflicts bleeding on enemies. Reveler's Heart gives us extra morale from all sources. So I kind of like the Tome of Revelry here. So I'm going to take that. Even though I don't feel like it's like the perfect tome, I think there's just enough going on. The Scald is a really good support unit. Like having one per army is super good. Like this positive morale here, the regeneration, the Song of Carnage giving strength and fortune, like very, very, very strong support unit the Scald is. So I am going to lock that in, but I am going to research Blood Fury weapons. Okay, Duskfort built a workshop which has improved its production. I need the Shadow Trade Quarter to improve the city's gold production, so we'll get that underway. We've captured another person from Ankaraz, so we're getting +2 hostage allegiance from Ankaraz, meaning if we continue to kill their heroes, we will slowly get allegiance over them. My hero gained a level of renown, which is perfect, so now growing the city costs less food. Now, as far as acquiring thralls, I don't think we've actually gained that ability yet, have we? No, I think I need to build the Vampire Castle Foundation, and I've been kind of focused on other stuff. Tyrannica has leveled up too from fighting with the heroes, so now her special province improvements are going to give extra stability on top of being cheaper, so we do want to get some special province improvements in Duskfort. We're working our way through the things. I know that was a lot of time spent making those decisions, but these decisions matter. They're going to have ripple effects throughout the game. We do have the Imperium to create another city over here, and I think we absolutely should. So I'm going to found another city of the Grimwolves, and I'm going to begin moving down here so we can start clearing out some of these nodes. In Grimrise, we built the bathhouse, which is great. That's going to help with the morale. We're actually positive morale now, so we're getting a slight buff to our city income, considering how much negative morale this empire produces. That's really, really good. I'm going to build the Vampire Castle Foundation here because I really want that extra Imperium income, as well as some of the new rituals and stuff that we will have access to. Duskfort can annex another province, and it's got to be the Fortress of Tears. That's our ancient wonder, and it also gives us a lot of draft in here, so this place will be able to crank out units, and when not cranking out units, it'll be able to grow faster. I'm going to go for the Mark of Tyranny now, so that my Blood Cultists and Necromancers can heal when they attack, as well as lower enemy status resistance in melee. I should probably be recruiting more Blood Cultists in my capital. I forgot to do that. Perfect. So we have the first floor of the Vampire Castle. So I don't know how we get thralls, but let's do the Mark of Tyranny. We're going to enchant. That's going to cost us 8 mana per turn, which is relatively expensive, but I do think that that's worth it. We can turn souls into thralls and thralls into souls with the addition of some mana. We have the Clairvoyance Ritual. Okay, cool. So we can get thralls that way. I'm going to cast Necrotic Projectiles so that we can inflict decaying on our enemies. It's a nice little bit of blight damage support. We'll start moving our hero stacks over here to deal with this quest, because we've had this quest for a while and I do think it is worth it to do quests if you can. Let's recruit another immortal. Then in here I would like to build the Deep Crypts is nice for the mana income, but it might be better for us to build a granary because it's cheap, so that we can have money to keep building units. Now, I mean, it might be okay for us to build a warlock here because of their ability to weaken enemies, and the Sundering Curse is really good because you can completely sunder the enemy's resistance, and it would give us access to the frost damage channel. The Tyrant Guard, I don't know what's so special about them. They can immobilize people. That's pretty good. They have extra defense for every debuff on the attacker. They're resistant to charges. They have first strike. They're a pack hunter, so like it's not a bad polearm unit. What I like about the Blood Cultist though is the being able to create blood parasites just causes chaos on the battlefield. The problem is they have very low health, whereas like the Tyrant Guard is beefy, and so is the Immortal. I think I'll just grab a few Immortals to fill out these armies. We found the Trader of Talents. You can join in, please. I would love to learn Enhanced Defense as well as gain a level. That'd be nice for +1 defense and 5% evasion. And no, we have to navigate this map very carefully in a very methodical, trying to take as few losses as possible so that we can build up our power level and level up our heroes and units and build up the strength that we have. I definitely need to kill this turn. Has to happen. So we've got all 3 of our stacks in position to fight this. Auto combat will probably produce some losses. Actually, no losses. That's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that. So I can give them Resistant Mask of Starblades. Oh, that is so good. I can give it to them. I didn't actually mean to give it to them. But now we have the Stone Pact. We can ask for a new quest. We're going to slay 9 units now. A little bit more difficult, but that would have been a great item, but I wanted to build up a relationship with the Crystal people before I torpedoed it. All right, perfect. We've already researched Blood Fury weapons. Let's grab the Scald now. Grimrise can annex another location. Oh, I see. We're growing thralls. Very useful. If I were to build another farm, I could go ahead and build the Mint. The Mint with a boost, which would save us money, but also generate us money. And I think we need that because we're continuing to expand our military. Stybor Erebus is ready to take his next tier. So now we can become a Night Lord. So he becomes immune to blind. When he's in Sunless, Underground, or Gloom, he'll do more damage and have natural regeneration. Then he can unlock Blink and Unholy Leader, which gives non-hero undead 10% damage. Ooh, that's really strong. He could become a Reaper. All active cooldowns will be reduced by 1 turn. When he kills something, and he would gain +10 hit points for the rest of the fight. Triggers once per turn. He would get access to the Wail of the Banshee, which is an AoE morale debuff, and Unholy Leader, so undead would be stronger again. We could go for Vampirific Rage, which damage increases as hit points are lowered up to 50%. We'd also have access to the Song of Carnage. Quite powerful. Strength and Fortune. Unholy Leader again. Okay, Unholy Leader is just a part of all of them. Profane Body Mastery would give us very fast movement, 15% evasion, extra 20 hit points, Draining Burst is an AoE frost attack that heals the caster. Marrow Drinker, attacks would inflict bleeding for 3 turns, increased for single shot. When an enemy suffers damage from bleeding, gain 2 temporary hit points. He'd have access to the Scarlet Plague and Unholy Leader. I'm kind of tempted by this Marrow Drinker. It feels on brand. And then he could be a Defiler, giving him Investiture of Chaos. I think I'm going to go with Marrow Drinker here because I love the idea of being able to do the Scarlet Plague. Eventually we will want Unholy Leader for the non-hero undead that will follow him. But let's grab Scarlet Plague. I think that's a great ability for this Death Knight. And then let's take extra crit chance so that we can continue. Like, this guy is going to be crazy strong. Okay, Stolen Power gives us resources when we conquer a city. That's cool. not what we're looking for right now. It would be nice, in my opinion, to grab the battlefield looting skill, so I am going to take that. That's going to bring us in a trickle of resources that we can use to continue to it's all about, we want to create an empire that's really, really strong at fighting, and getting economy from fighting is really good. I mean, if they wanted to improve this, if it was just like gain +2 gold, +2 mana, +2 research per tier unit, like that would be crazy strong. We've got some units that need commander. We founded Blade Hollow. I think the first thing we're going to go for is the collector. We need to get our gold income up big time. We have new empire development skills available. We can get Lure of the Horde and Bandit Army. I think I would take Lure of the Horde if I could afford it. 25% chance of gaining free units whenever we win a battle. Very powerful. No governor set for Blade Hollow. I'm going to give them the agricultural governor just for now. That's fine. Grimrise produced a granary, and we're working on the mint now. Grimrise also produced an immortal. I'm going to get Duskfort to make a pursuer. I'll get Grimrise to make a warlock. Kind of filling out those army stacks. If I look around in terms of weakest to strongest, this army here is the next weakest. So that's who we're going to look to pick a fight with. If I had more thralls, I could get the Vampire Spider Matriarch, which sucks. Oh, yeah. If I give up growth and Grimrise for a turn, I can get the Vampire Spider Matriarch. That's crazy. Look at that. The tier 3 fighter with low maintenance, so it doesn't cost that much to maintain, relatively speaking. It has Demolisher, so it's good at destroying fortified obstacles. So it's a fighter, so it's going to benefit from many of the melee fighting boosting spells. It has a melee strike that deals bleed, yes, and exploits vulnerability and lifesteals, barbed webs, damage, slow, bleeding, immobilize, has all the good abilities, plus can spawn a hatchling. This thing is going straight into the main stack. Huge buff potential. The next weakest stack is on this Bloodglass here. This is a 566. This one is a 908. Try to defeat them order from easiest to weakest so that we can optimize how much stuff we get. So we've actually ran into Aerie Kiastir. She's a wizard king of the Free Sirens, feudal aristocracy. She's a preserving diplomat, so she might be chill enough. She is already at war with Ursel Blackrose. I'm just not going to engage with her. I'm going to just leave. I don't want to give Ursel Blackrose a reason to dislike me yet, because I don't want him to declare war on me yet. I am happy to fight him later on in the game. This game is fundamentally a war game. We don't have a huge amount of mana, but necrotic projectiles would make our blood and range units a lot stronger, like our battle mages and stuff. So I am going to go ahead and enchant, mainly because it's going to allow us to get the blood parasites to appear. Ankaraz has sent a war party, so we're going to have to deal with that in about 2 to 3 turns, and we may let them just pillage something, because the goal here was to pick up some experience and resources from killing this stuff in this local area and sort of clearing out our zones. I would love to go into the Umbral Abyss because the rewards for going into the Umbral Abyss are great. It's just that I'm a little busy. So it's going to take them 1 turn, maybe 2 turns to get to here. Let's get our units into position. Move you 1 tile to the left. And if I attack with this guy, we should get nearly 3 full stack against these guys. They do have the advantage of being in a parasitic contamination. So let's hope the auto combat goes well for us. That looks like it was a pretty clean battle. Perfect. Boots of the Astral Traveler gives us pass through. It's basically flying unit and slippery. Those are pretty good. You're currently wearing enchanted boots of swiftness. I don't think you need to wear better than that because flying movement gives you pass through. Instead, I would be more likely to give this to my Spellblade, who's going to have to contend with other melee units. Now, we'll have to wait at least. We could probably engage this and beat it. It says it would be a safe battle, but I would be worried about losing units. Yeah, losing 2 blood cultists isn't ideal, so I'm going to go ahead and retry this. So obviously, the biggest threat here in this battle is going to be the Blood Exarch. The fact that it does 30 damage per attack and propagates blood parasite, as well as the Siphon Lesser, being able to... he granted the blood of the Exarch to something. Can't tell what it was. Target enemy sustains damage is pulled to an adjacent hex. I mean, the blood Exarch is just terrifying, and the Warbreed is also a problem. But aside from that, we're just up against sort of normal units. But this guy needs to be brought down. He's got 180 health and a lot of defense. 57% damage resist from physical, and then roughly, what, like 60% damage resistance from magical. A little bit weak to fire and spirit, which we don't have a lot of. It's actually strong against the damage channels that we do, so we are going to have to rely on physical damage here. Thankfully, my blood cultists do a lot of physical damage. What's the range on this pull? That pull's pretty big, so he's going to be able to isolate whoever he wants, which is a bit of a problem. So probably the best person for him to isolate would be my leader, Stybor Erebus. So I'm going to put him into harm's way because he has the ability to basically resurge. Let's heal yourself. dragon. Now I have a necromancer on the field of battle, so the dragon can die and be revived, which is great. Vlad the wolf, let's get you into cozy position here on the right. Keep the necromancer in position. We have a couple of decaying or regular old zombies we can shoot forward. Now one thing we have going for us is that we're not dealing with any magic. The enemy doesn't have access to magical spells. Okay, he decided to grab that, which sucks. That unit just straight up died. My hero is frozen. Got a blood maggot here and a war breed. Do need to deal with that blood maggot. I could do the rite of life leeching. Let's do it. These zombies should heal from fighting then. 1, 2, 3. Let's spray a net on this guy so that we can do a blood plague kill and get a parasite for ourselves. And if you attack here, you'll heal this dragon or just anything up a lot. I want you to melee down the war breed. Just need to get kills. We need to get these guys into melee if we can. We need to start weakening him. Can you strengthen the dragon? Scarlet Plague that blood bloater. And then we just about can't get the kill unless it's a crit. Unlucky. Big cleave hurts. He pulled forward that guy. That's okay. These are immortals. They will come back. They are expendable, although they do create blood parasites, which is a problem for us. Okay, fire evocation here is the play. Boom. They're all burning and status vulnerable now. Need to kill this war breed. Probably the best way to do it is let's do a heal link with you, so you're even more strengthened. And then if you blast, you'll heal up everyone. Could you get this kill? Nope, but the dragon can. Go ahead and attack here to get yourself some healing from fighting. Now we could do a blood empowerment. He has a cleaving attack. Terrifying. Come on, get me this kill. Beautiful. I'm going to drop a baleful curse here to lower his strength. We need to deal with this guy. Drop me an egg. Summons will be a good distraction. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Come around here. Raise the undead. I don't think the dragon is going to die here. Oof. Sheer amount of damage this guy can output. I mean, we lost 2 blood cultists. It sucks. Melee strike twice. Definitely want to try and get this kill so that we isolate him. Come on, give me this kill. Not quite. I'll bring my necromancer forward and blast him. So this guy is truly isolated. Get my bone dragon out here to chop. Make him weaker again. You come here. Let's do blood empowerment plus a draining bite. Now that he's isolated, he's going to do big damage, but he's isolated, which means we can use our overwhelming numbers to take him out. Now he's going to kill something here for sure. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. These guys are crazy, dude. All right, let's blast him to get some healing. We'll use the dragon, who has big melee attacks to soften him up. And then maybe my hero can get the kill. I'll do a swiftness just to get a bit of health back. There we go. Whoa. Dude, those blood exarchs, they're scary units. I mean, we pretty much got the same result as the auto-resolve, so I don't know if there's really a point in doing it again to try and get a better result. I think I'll just accept that. Spark Caller of Spiders here. Something in Spider Monarch. Oh. So this is a tier 4. Ideal for a Battle Saint, Warlock, Elementalist, or Ritualist. I do have one of those. The problem is it would... yeah, it would suck. It would have defense mode warding, which is nice. It is pretty good. I could give this to Tyrannica the Beacon. She would lose her ability to do up to 45 damage and instead do 28 damage in an attack, but also be able to summon spiders, which kind of has its own appeal. She did level up. So let's see here. We can go Raise Undead, which target undead corpse is revived with 60% of its total hit points. 2 turn cooldown. Dark Ritual. Enemies within 1 hex radius sustain damage. All corpses turn into decaying zombies. This is a once per battle, increased accuracy, exploit vulnerability. Claim Soul has on target killed, it would basically revive them as a zomba. I think I prefer the ability of a Raise Undead, so I'm going to take that. You're more of like now a necromancer, which is really cool. We've cleared out this area. We could take the time to clear out this gold vein. I do think that's worth it. It's 10 gold per turn. I think it's worth it. I'm going to need a lot more blood cultists. I'm sad they died. All right, Blade Hollow is ready to annex a place. We do need a farm, so we're going to grab a farm here on this blood glass, but by acquiring blood glass, we now have +5 hit point regeneration on the map, but also access to the blood magic in the item forge. So it could be really good for us to start thinking about going towards the soul forge in our capital here, because then we can start recycling in to get blood parasite weaponry. Vlad the Wolf did level up, and we did take him in that flaming direction, which seems to be working pretty okay. I'm going to go for Wildfire Strike, so he does more AoE flame stuff. Friendship with me was declared. Okay, I think that was the new elfish kind of person we saw. Okay, we're being pillaged by Megaira the Scalded, so we need to get up here and start counterattacking. I'm probably going to need walls in my settlements now too, so that's something I need to be considering. All right, let's clear out this gold mine to get a bit of money. Should be an easy auto combat plus a level. We got a warg mount, thank you very much. keep exploring. I did get my hands on a warlock, which is nice. Let's recruit a tyrant guard now. Just having like a diverse set of units can be useful, giving you strategic flexibility. Stybor Erebus has leveled up. I don't think I need Unholy Leader just yet. I would like it later, but I think for now I'm going to grab critical momentum so that he heals when critting. The dragon ended its friendship with me. It's still at war with my enemy, which is fine. That's the main thing that I care about, what I was checking there. Just going to keep recruiting a ton of tier 1 units. I just need lots of chaff for my opponents to chew through so that I can level up in combat and sustain my heroes' power level spiking. Oh, my scout was caught off guard. That sucks. I would like to do this quest as well, and we're under siege now. Okay, so I'm going to take my time, or rather, I'm going to finish up here what I was trying to say. Kill this group. No losses. Perfect. Yeah, I need another farm. I'll grab that there, and we can use the roads to get back that we've just built. I would love to go up and do this quest, but I think I have to deal with the invasion now. Dusk Fort, I'm going to go ahead and grab the palisade walls. I'll probably build a forester. I should probably build a desecration chamber, stonemason, etc. Let's build those palisade walls. It's good to just... So you just can't walk in and completely obliterate the city in a single turn. Right, we've got finished researching the Scald, which is fantastic. Skeleton Reanimation gives us the ability to raise undead. I think I would prefer to get Sanguine Focus so that my ranged magic attacks can inflict bleed. Blade Hollow can annex another province. It's got 2 farms. I would like a quarry or a lumber mill. Lumber mill would be nice for the palisade walls. Let's grab the lumber mill and then quickly queue up the palisade walls. Palisade walls are really good because they give you +20 fortification health, which means they're going to take like between 2 to 4 turns to siege down your city, which gives you time to respond. Let's go with Blood Fury weapons. That's going to improve our shock and fighter units. It's going to be expensive to maintain, but pretty much all of them are going to be expensive to maintain from now on out. Tyrannica has gained another level of renown, so now special province improvements will give extra knowledge. Fantastic. We definitely want to get around to eventually building those. A little bit stuck in the cycle of grinding our way through our enemies. Okay, some of our stuff is getting pillaged up here. We will need to deal with this. I do think it was worth it to come back here for the blood glass. Something in this army is slowing me down, and it's this necromancer. So I think I'm going to leave the necromancer behind because it's significantly slowing down the speed of my armies. Okay, Blood Fury weapons is ready. It's going to be 16 mana upkeep. We definitely need to get the mana income in Blade Hollow up before we can do more of that. I'm going to grab Skilled Raiders. I don't need Forced March. Advanced Sensing is useful. I don't need Rite of the Last Stand. The Bandit Army could be really useful. Don't need the Whispering Stone. Advanced Sensing is really useful to be able to see further and know more about the world. Knowledge is a form of power, especially when it comes to strategy games, so that you can know and predict what your enemies are going to do. I gotta say, man, I have so much fun playing this game. I really, really, really love Age of Wonders 4. Right, I can get my ruler stack up to here, which isn't quite close enough to battle. I think we could take these guys on, but I would prefer to fight with my full force. Let's keep getting blood cultists. Grimrise is ready to expand, and I think I'm going to expand out this way because the land to the east is a little bit cramped for my other city, so I'm going to leave that space for them. There's 2 foresters on a farm in ruins. I would really like the blood altar. That would let me build a mage's guild, but that's really expensive for 20 mana. I don't think that's worth it. No, I think I'll just leave it there and I'll grab myself another forester. 3 foresters will allow us to build most things boosted. So there's Sanguine Focus. Unfortunately, we won't be able to cast it. I'm going to start researching Reveler's Heart for the eventual casting of it. We found some ambitious dreams. I can make him a steward. I forget what he is now. Right now, he's a lawbringer, an explorer, about Ancient Wonders, a Steward. Steward's not bad. I don't think Lawbringer is very good, and I don't plan to use him to explore Ancient Wonders, so I'll make him a Steward. Better than what he is right now. Pillaging, 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 pillaging. We'll deal with them. Don't worry about that. Okay, we want to attack Megaira. Should be an easy auto combat here. We'll get some resources, take no losses, ideally. Perfect. We got a little bit of gold out of them, and we should be able to get our units over to fight the second stack. Let's do it. Auto combat. No major losses. Beautiful. Tons of resources. Plus an electrified orb. We also got another hostage. Yeah, we're 3 hostages now. Could make peace with them. I prefer fighting them. I think fighting is better because of the experience you gain. Experience is a resource. Grimrise produced its mint. Excellent. Oh, I don't like our mana situation at all. Not one bit. Let's start repairing what got pillaged. The Dark Forge would benefit from being near quarries and mines. Don't necessarily want the Carnival of Flesh. And I don't need the Blood Altar, although extra mana from fighting is actually really good. If I were to put it here, could I surround it with farms? I mean, I guess I don't actually need the farms, because the thing I care about for the Blood Altar is the fact that it gives mana when you're victorious in battle. So I'm going to replace this quarry with the Blood Altar. Blade Hollow can annex another location. Let's grab this farm. It's on a river with an agricultural governor, which is fantastic. We got Cos Rudder, you good sir. And that was a very successful turn. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Okay, I don't like this. This means Magaira the Scalded has a ton of units over here, I think. This is like a I'm coming to kill you stack. What's she working with military-wise? She's the second strongest military. I am the fourth strongest, so I think I could take her on, but she's going to be a tough fight. I would like to clear this node. Yeah, there she is in Bonfire. Tough cookie. The war has only begun. I will be attacking here because I want the experience. Even if it's only what I'm gonna retry this. I don't know how you managed to get kills on me. Not when this should be a pretty straightforward charge battle. Let's get a Spider Matriarch going. Dragon moving. Pretty much everyone's going to be charging forward here except for the low health units. Okay, you can't hit them with the Fire Evoke. Alright, so I'm expecting some damage. Ooh. Now what I would like to do is to get a leap across here and net these two guys, but I can't net both, but I'll just net one for now. Let's vulnerabilize this guy. I'll get the dragon in on you. Can you teleport behind him? No, you can't. It's fine. Just take your shots. Make him decay. Should do the job. Perfect. I think I can get into range with a Slippery here. Let's also buff up his power. Then run up and give this guy the old death chomp. Bomb. I'll put a Blood Plague on you just so you bleed out a little faster. And we'll start nibbling on this little blood parasite. It shouldn't be too hard for us to take him out. Mostly we just have to make sure we try to get kills efficiently. And by that I mean like not leaving ourselves way too exposed to damage, which I think the auto combat does an okay job of, but can sometimes leave your units in like an easy to kill position. I'd be surprised if they get any kills on us here. Attack this to make it blow up, taking a bit of damage but dealing a bit of damage. Let's get our zombie around, which was the plan. We can zip our champion over. Bam, bam. Well, I say champion, ruler. And again, to get the kill. Perfect. This should be an easy enough kill as well. Beautiful. Making use of the tools that you have available to you to avoid losses. Pick up a bunch of skulls, pick up some gold, some experience. Lovely. Enchanted Ring of the Killer. Not a bad ring. Plus some mana. That's really going to help with our mana woes. As much as I want to go fight Ankaraz, I might have to go fight Bonfire. I could piece out Ankaraz for free. And we are going to get +3 allegiance per turn due to our hostages. Duskfort has its palisade walls now, which is fantastic. I would like to get a conduit. That's 15 mana per turn. That's big. Yeah, okay, so this is what I thought it was. It's a giant stack of bad dudes coming to fight me. And what are they working with? They've got the Pledge of Strife, which gives them Warrior Soul and do a lot of extra fire damage. That's spooky. Plus Searing Blade. So fire is a problem because that is one of the damage types that a lot of our units are weak to. We'll need to come up with a solution for fire damage. Stybor Erebus has leveled up again. When this unit kills another unit, it gains fortune. Excellent. And remember, we heal when we crit, which is really powerful. Okay, Empire Development skill. I think I would like Skilled Raiders. Oh no, Death Magic is really useful. Yeah, Death Magic is really, really useful. Ursula Blackrose wants a defensive pact. I'm gonna take that for now because I think it's gonna put me in a position to win the game. Stronger than not taking it would be. These Butcher Ogres have Blood Fury weapons. They're not bad. I just don't think I can afford to recruit them. Otherwise, I would grab them. Duskfort needs new production. Let's grab the Stonemasons so that we can pump more gold in production through the veins of the city to make it better. We may want to consider expanded governance if we do capture a city. Looks like they're trying to cross the mountain range. We failed this quest. Understandable. If they're trying to cross the mountain range, it could be good for us to build defensive buildings. I think I feel a lot more comfortable being on the defensive right now than I do being on the offensive, just due to the sheer power disparity between me and the AI when you're playing on such a high difficulty. I mean, 11 turns for 20 mana per turn is just really not worth it, I don't think. The Dark Forge would probably be worth it, but only after we captured another province. So let's work on the estate hall since we're in the process of repairing our foresters, and then that will get boosted next turn when they repair. I'm going to hold off on casting anything right now because I just don't think I can afford to run any more spells at the moment. I'll take a defensive pact with this guy as well because if I can have two people with a defensive pact, I can fight the other people without having to worry about them, thus limiting the number of enemies I have to take on at the same time, which is a significant bonus, like, to my capabilities. Okay, perfect. Let's get outside Duskfort on the edge of their vision, waiting for them to strike so that we can counterattack. Blade Hollow has made a new thing. We're going to make the Shadow Trade Quarter because we need even more gold income. Could justify the workshop first. Definitely want to get a second copy of this Shadow Glass, but maybe getting a quarry is the right move. I'll build a conduit there, and I'll switch this to a research post. We've got another copy of Blood Glass, so now we can really make good equipment with bleed effects and stuff. Okay, they're like falling back and reorging, which is weird. Gain information about the toll of seasons, jail the troublemaker, get the crown of Starblades. Yeah, give me that. I don't give a damn about the toll of seasons. I'm okay with taking a couple of defensive fights here. I would like it to be inside my domain and I back out of their sensing range to see if they come forward again. I don't know what they're doing, but chilling here does let me gather my power as I'm constantly working towards this late game ability that I want, which is really going to activate my empire, which is the Tome of the Crimson Rain. The Tome of Warding starts to look a lot more appealing here now that we are starting to get, like, we have the Scald available. So bolstered resistances helps us with a lot of those magic damage channels that we're weak to. Magical wards helps us with fire. It incidentally also helps with lightning and frost. Now, if we are going to go for tier 4 tomes, we do need to make sure that we have 6/6 affinity, but that does mean that we have room to dip in for certain things. Let me have a look at what my opponent is doing. He's got a lot of ranged units. Battle Mage is specifically dealing fire damage. I'm seeing a lot of fire, physical, and some spirit damage. Fire, physical, spirit. It's actually a mix of ranged and melee, although he does have some of these guys. So I do think the Tome of Shades would be really good. The Tome of not scrying. I'm trying to think of like what would counter them. Definitely, I feel like the Tome of Warding gives us like 20% more effective HP against their fire damage. But actually, weirdly enough, I still think that the Tome of Rock here does a lot of work because of the +1 defense from Earthkin, also Mountain Walk and Mountain Camouflage. The Obsidian Weaponry would allow us to do a lot against them as well, although this does actually apply to range units. So that's something really important that I had forgotten about when I was looking at this. And I believe that these types of units, they might be resistant to fire. So I do think that the Tome of Rock here would help us quite a bit against him. So I'm going to grab that. I think this is the way, because if we look at the Gargoyle, I don't know how to check what its abilities are. Earthkin isn't going to cost me mana upkeep, so I'm going to go for Earthkin first, but I would like to get Obsidian Weapons. I've got a call to war here against Stybor. I'm sorry, I'm going to decide that later. Can't go to war with Stybor. Are you calling me to war? Oh no. You're calling me to war against who? Oh, Ursula Blackrose has asked me to fight her. You know what? I can do that. I'm going to accept it. That is worth it. Okay, so this is going to be an absolutely gargantuan battle here that's going to come up, but that's going to happen in the next episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.